Hi, Josh. There's no way around it. For a while, when this tendency to wake up happens, the ego and mind is going to take that and try to do it. It's going to do it. It's a doer. That's a necessary stage. You can't stop that. And if you try to stop that prematurely because you listen to some a Vita video and it tells you don't have to do anything, then that will be the that will also be the ego that's stopping to do it. You see, it's because it's like all you know is ego. Everything you do or don't do is ego. At first, yeah, I'm going to get this spiritual practice. I'm going to do. That's ego. Oh, I listened to this Vita person. They said I don't have to do anything. Cool. I'm not going to do anything. That's also ego, saying it's not going to do anything. So what do? Nothing, something like that. You got to do until you get tired, and then the undoing happens. When the undoing, it's organic though, right? Because you did like Buddha. He got tired and just chilled like against this tree. I'm tired. I did too much doing. But see, that wasn't that wasn't the mind and ego. That he didn't listen to a video that told him to quit doing, and so he says, okay, I'm going to stop doing now. I'm going to live against this tree. No, it was organic. This egoic energy got burnt up from all this doing and trying, and then what the unfoldment was he just laid out, he was chilling. It was a natural organic chill, God chilling. So doing, then undoing, and then what happens? Then our true self gets revealed. It starts to shine through. He's just relaxing now, and all of a sudden he felt some peace. He's like, wait a minute. I'm feeling what I was like looking for. Like this is what I've been trying to get. Like how do I have it? I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting here. I'm not even thinking about spiritual practices, but yet I feel I'm in the height. I'm in a more expansive version of myself. This feels like what I've been looking for. Huh. You see, it's like mysterious like that. But you can't call off the search prematurely. The mind an ego, it has its purpose of this trying. It's good. If the energy is there to try in that way, do it. Even for somebody, let's say they're awake, it still might come, certain moments, certain periods, it may come to where they are using the vehicle of their mind or ego to do something, to be vigilant, maybe in a certain situation, to really be present, because there's a lot of stuff going down maybe in that moment, and so it's necessary to kind of summon up, to conjure up this life force and really try to, like, okay, I have to be present. That appears like a doing. That's a at least more of a doing than if you're just doing your nice normal kind of just check in and stuff. That seems like that's just happening automatically. It's not much of a doing. So we don't know. The whole point is to stay open. Don't make anything into a concept. I'm not saying doing's wrong. I'm not saying not doing is right. It might sound like I'm saying that, and maybe I am saying that on some level, but at the same time, I'm throwing all that out too. Let life play. Let life play. Don't try to turn anything into an absolute technique that you think, okay, I got it now. If I just practice this certain concept or technique, I'm good. No, life's going to shake you up. You got to be flexible. Well, what's the point then of sharing anything? To let you know that. We got to be reminded of this over and over again, because we live in a world where this isn't golden age. We're living in a world where unconsciousness is really perpetuated, where mind and ego activity is really perpetuated, especially also in the spiritual path. People are trying to use their ego and their mind to awaken, and it's okay up to a certain point. It's necessary, you know. At some point, the spiritual practice, it's like it just becomes more, it's more refined and subtle because of the law of evolution. We're not just, it's just logical, right? We're not meant to, you know, just struggle with this stuff forever. Got to go to the next Vipassana retreat and, you know, sit here for 10 hours a day and, you know, didn't work. Okay, I got to sign up again, do it again. Or I got to do intense dry fasting and, you know, all that stuff. That's a certain stage. But at some point, and you get a lot of vitamins and minerals from that, and it burns ego up. It burns the ego up in the sense that you see that the ego can't do this. You can do the most extreme thing, but that's not going to give you enlightenment. I thought that if I could just stop eating and drinking and be breatharian, I would transcend the body, and then I would just be enlightened. You know, so I had to play and experience all these concepts and try everything. It's necessary. You have to do that, and then you can help somebody else who's doing it. See, later you can see that stuff if somebody else is doing it, because we all go through the same stages, basically. But you can't help somebody in a stage if you haven't experienced it yourself. When you transcend a certain stage, now you're qualified to go back and help somebody in that stage. You can't really help them when you're still in that stage. You can kind of, you know, give each other a little camaraderie or something, but I mean, I'm just saying, somebody, that's why we got to go through all this and taste all this, so we can actually have the real experience, physically, mentally, emotional. We have the whole experience. Now we're qualified to have compassion and empathy for somebody else who's going through it, and it's organic. That's why not every master can help everybody. God uses all of us for his own purposes. There's people that you can help that Jesus or Buddha or Ramana Maharshi couldn't help, because you have a different life experience and living wisdom. And so then when you talk to others who maybe had a similar struggle, and they can feel that you get it. You see, this is a big component of somebody being able to be helped, is when you feel they really know what you're saying. Not just on a spiritual level, but when they actually have walked through in those same shoes. That person is going to be qualified to help somebody. Look at Alcoholics Anonymous. Doctors can't help people with alcoholism. Maybe there's a few, there's always exceptions, but look, since it got started, millions and millions of people have been able to get sober who probably wouldn't have if it wasn't for this program. There's no doctor, the doctors didn't help him. You just haven't, you got millions of alcoholics who just couldn't stop drinking, all get together, share. It's a strong 12-step program. Through humility, ask for a greater power to relieve their obsession that they can't get rid of, share their stories and have fellowship with each other, and magically they can stop drinking where they just couldn't before. How does that tie in? Oh, so your experience is important, whatever you're having. If the life force is moving in a certain direction, and you're doing stuff, don't let your mind judge it and say, oh, but this isn't spiritual. This isn't, I'm listening to the Neo-Advaita people, and they're saying I don't have to do anything, but yet I'm feeling in my heart that I should be doing this now. Do it. Don't trust the Neo-Advaita people. If you feel there's something that's not authentic when they're speaking, then this probably is not authentic. It's easy to make a video. It's easy to write a book. It's easy to appear to shine for, 10 or 20 minutes. If you have some natural charisma and you can articulate and make things sound all awesome, that's easy. Put a camera on these people 24 hours a day and you might change your mind. They may not be what your mind imagines them to be. So you got to trust your intuition. Trust people who want to empower you to trust your intuition. People that when they're speaking, there's flexibility there, because this is life. There's flexibility. There's no one way, one path, one concept. There's no just stop doing, and realize you are. Don't work like that. Like, please. So trust yourself and let the doing come to a natural end. Okay? The doing will turn into finally an undoing, and then in that undoing, then you can say the revelation happens. It gets revealed. Again, Buddha is a good example. That process is perfect. He tried, stopped trying, and then boom, the unfoldment was there. But that has to happen by grace, and in grace's time. You can't use your mind to manufacture that. And then even then, you'll keep a sadhana, a spiritual practice, but it's nice. It's just something enjoys, like I'm talking now. There's an appearance of this human construct in with an emotional body and mental body and nervous system that bridges all that experience into this body. So I feel all these sensations. This is a great virtual reality outfit. I'm experiencing, you get to have experience. And so then at the same time, the spiritual practice is to constantly recognize, you can recognize in this virtual reality suit, you recognize the source of that. It's just, that's what it is. And something enjoys kind of bringing the attention back to that. The localized consciousness enjoys contemplating its own self, its own formless self. That doesn't end. But it's not you're not doing it to try to get somewhere. You're doing it because it's natural and it feels good and you like doing it. The consciousness is doing it. It enjoys doing it. It's like you lose. At first, our spiritual practice as sadhana is very much mind driven. We're trying to get somewhere and we're trying to get it. And our intention's good. It's okay. That as ego starts to dissolve, it's like the spiritual practice remains, but there's no ego there that's doing it anymore. I think that's the best way I can say it. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it like that before I mess it up. Have a good day.